it's Tiffany from I Heart All Things, and I am here to show you how to create this really fun, interactive reveal wheel. This is something that you guys were like, how do we make it? So let's begin. Alright guys, so these are the Lawn Fawn reveal wheel dies. You want these dies because it's going to make your life easier. And Kelly has an amazing video tutorial that I'll link up below on how to use these dies on her website. So I will link her up right here. But the goal of this video tutorial is to show you guys how to create something similar, not as pretty, but without those dies. Alright, so to begin, you're going to need 2 sheets of pattern paper or cardstock, and then you'll need some random piece of paper, extra piece of paper for a die cut, your reveal wheel. This is actually the wheel from Shauna Klingerman's set, whatever it is, and then you'll need a shape for your window or a template for your window. So you want to take the extra sheet of paper and just punch a smaller shape out. I don't have a circle, so I'm going to cut out a little hexie. This is going to be our spinner base. And now, centering the two, you want to take an awl or some sort of paper piercer and poke a small hole right down the center. You don't want this hole too large because it's got to snugly fit that brad. So now what we're going to do is take our brad and position it so that the wheel is facing outward and that the flat head of the brad is behind the wheel. So take your finished wheel and one of your pattern papers or cardstocks and just figure out where you want your thumb or finger notch and where you want your window. So I'm just sort of eyeballing it. There's no exact science. I'm going to put my window right there and then determine where to put the thumb notch next. Using a pencil, just outline whatever shape you're using for your window with pencil. That way you can go back and cut it and erase it. And now I'm just kind of eyeballing where my thumb notch is and taking that same punch and punching out that side. Alright, so now you can use your scissors or a craft knife. Maybe you have a die cutting machine and you have a shape that you want. Just go ahead and cut out that window. This is going to be what is revealing your words on the spinning wheel underneath. It doesn't have to be perfect on your first try. Go easy on yourself. So with the wheel positioned behind the cardstock as you see fit, you want to figure out the best position for your wheel and then make some markings with your pencil. So the first important mark is going to be at the thumb notch, right up against that inside line, and then again at the window. This is going to make sure that you align it perfectly each time. And so now, using that first thumb notch mark, you want to make sure you mark at noon, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. That's going to be our guide. Using your first thumb notch and window markings as a guide, you're going to line up that reveal wheel again behind the window, and you're going to turn the wheel as it's loosely in place within your hand with the cardstock and the wheel in place. You're going to rotate the window until you get to each of those side notch marks on the right side, and then you're going to mark the bottom of each window. This is going to act as your stamping guide. So there's my first one. I'm rotating till I get to the second notch, and then I'm marking my window, rotating again, and then marking my window. So now I'm going to take my eraser and just sort of clean everything up. For whatever reason, my pencil markings do not want to erase from this cardstock that I printed off of. So go lightly with your pencil, don't be like me. And now you can get your stamps. These are the Worthy Words stamp set from Illustrated Faith, designed by Elaine Davis. And I'm using some of the smaller words because my window is quite small. So I'm just going to stamp each word, making sure that it can be clearly stamped, and I'm using those markings as a guide. So I'm going to put my stamped word right above it. You don't have to use stamps at this point. You could hand letter them. You could add bits of word fetty if you have any left over. You could add emojis. I mean, you really don't have to use the Worthy Words. You can really get creative and make it your own. So as a little fun thing, I put I am in front of my reveal wheel. That way there's some sort of connection with the foreground and the wheel that is interactive, spinning to the particular word. So it's going to say I am saved, I am shiny, wild, and bold. So now you're going to flip your reveal wheel over and add 4 small foam squares to the back of that spinning mechanism. Remove the backings, and then using your window as a guide, position your wheel in place. This might take a little bit of finagling. I had some pencil markings left over, so I just sort of used those as a guide. And now you can hold it in place with your hands and match it to the second piece of cardstock that's going to act as the backer. So everything should fit in place. Your window should come off easily because there's no adhesive there. And now you can add some foam tape or foam squares all along that wheel base. This is going to hide where all the magic happens. So go ahead and remove all those backings, and then you can position that window right on top. And there you go. So now you can make it your own. Can't wait to see what you guys do with this concept. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye.